Hey folks, WooFDriver. In case you missed it, we did the big motorcycle ride. Now we're back home, and I'm just trying to broadcast more. This is my daily activities as you see them. I got home, I had to take care of some business, and from taking care of that, I come home and take care of the rest of the WooFPark. I took Zara with me today. I was able to do that. It was just a quick run. Zara! There's the Z-Man. Jags, they're sitting on the table, and the Gigi Meister, Princess still around front, so she's getting her rest in. She had her beauty rest. Princess is elderly, as you know, and she's needs a little more beauty rest than the boys. Look at Gigi, girl. Now it seems like the dogs know that we're broadcasting because they seem to be cooperating. I'm trying to give you a view of all of them. That's Zara, who just took the motorcycle ride, by the way. If you caught that, that was on the main WooFDriver page. And I hope you caught that because that was into Baltimore City and then back out. So it was quite a ride. Actually, there's Princess right there. She's... Hi, pretty! Not coming over, though. She's on the other side of the fence. She can get in the other way, but she likes looking from afar sometimes. She's a little more active than I thought, which is a good thing. Easy, Chase. Chase. She's a lady. You can't do that, Chase. Chase always likes playing with Gigi, seeing what's going on. So, our motorcycle ride, as you saw, Zara joined me. And it was about a half hour each way. Dan, who is part of the WooFDriver pit crew, followed me in my dog bus. So in case something would happen, the bike would break down, or Zara would need to get in there for some reason, we had a backup vehicle. I almost always go everywhere prepared for the unexpected. Oh, good girl, Gigi. Gigi's taking a bathroom break. And that's the way to travel for me because it gives me peace of mind knowing that, hey, we break down, it's a little warm out here, I'm not going to have to stay with Zara in the sun. I'll be able to get him into the vehicle to a cooler place. So if you have never been here before with me, this is what I call a WooFPark, and it's a playground that I designed for the dogs. It's got some agility equipment in it. We don't do agility purposely, at least, or formally, but it's a lot of fun for the dogs to romp through here. They're usually just chasing each other. The coolest thing is this cave, and this is actually not just like a pop-up cave. It's actually, all this equipment was built for a permanent playground situation. Usually you'd see at a park setting, so it's made for a lot of abuse. These are really cool for small dogs. They climb up here, and Gigi will do it sometimes. Her other Chinese crested Lulu would do this activity all the time. She liked coming up here because it puts them at a higher elevation, and that's why dogs like to get on top of dog houses and be in the air, because they want to be able to survey the area. It's instinctual for them to watch for potential prey or possibly predators. Gigi, no, the fence, she could get out down there, but if she got out, she just goes into the pool side. So it's just a little bent in. The dogs are getting a little wild. There's the other fence is more the barrier fence that would go into the neighbor's yard. And by the way, this fence is really only 5 feet, and it's not something you would ever build for Huskies, but we actually had to build it because we built the pool, and that was a Maryland or a county requirement. We built it, and then we realized, wait a minute, it's 5 foot. The dogs were puppies. Actually, I don't even think I had them at the time, but because I used to keep them on an electric or an invisible fence. And when I got the puppies, I said, they're too small, they're never going to jump that 5-foot fence. But as they got to be adults, I never had to put them on the invisible fence back here. They just stay back here. And they do that because of, I attribute it to all the activity, letting them sow their wild oats through free ranging and running and exploring everything, that they're really not worried about or interested in leaving the area. So actually, I came out here once and I had the fence open. I forgot. I had the gate open, and I was like, oh my gosh, when they were younger. And I actually just headed up into the court of my neighborhood. I thought they were up there. I figured, oh my God, the kids are up there playing. let me ask the kids if they've seen them, the neighborhood kids. And lo and behold, they're like, no, we didn't see them. Like, hey, can you help me? And they're like, sure. So I start calling their names, and they come to the line of where the fence would be around the front of the house, but don't cross it, won't even come past it. I'm like, oh my gosh. So they understand boundaries, and that's part of their training, is my voice boundaries, and only get so many feet away from me when they're off leash. And because they become so accustomed to it, and because I've give them the freedom that they so often yearn for, the fence is irrelevant essentially. So the height of it doesn't matter. And just in case though, I keep GPS collars on them, which I think I've mentioned before, which is called the Link AKC. Peace of mind again. So they're almost, when I'm not home, they're always inside the house, but when I'm home, it's a good way of giving me a chance to know, hey, they're still outside, right in the yard, whatever. So Gigi's in the sandbox now. The sandbox is really cool because it gives them, huskies, especially when they're bored, will dig. And unless there's, if they saw a chipmunk or they know there's a wild animal there, they'll dig anywhere. But when they're bored, they do excessive digging in people's yards, and that's when you know they need a little more physical stimulation, and or need to be challenged mentally. There's some wonderful products on the market, especially if you only have one husky or if you're able to separate them. I never like giving huskies treats alongside of each other, because inadvertently it almost, a lot of times it'll lead to a little bit of a bickering or skirmish, if you will, because dogs always want what the other dog has. And where there's a competitiveness in the hierarchy of a wolf pack, you're always going to have a possible challenge amongst them, and that can create the skirmish that I mentioned. So there's games out there like what were they called? I forget. I used them years ago. They've even gotten more sophisticated, where they actually will let a little kibble or a little treat out when the dog rotates it or unlocks it in some way. So it's a little challenging to the dog. It keeps them enticed through food motivation. Pretty interesting. That's one way to challenge them if you can't get them out physically as much as you'd like to. Because mental stimulation can be a substitute for the physical conditioning when need be. It's Gigi. So the fence is perfect for her. She's not going to make it over there. But we would never let her out here unattended because of her small size. She could easily fall into the beak of a large predator bird or possibly other wild animal. There's not really going to be a predator for the dogs per se. There are coyotes in the area. There have been reports of them, but that wouldn't challenge a dog. And especially when you 3 or 4 of them in a wolf pack, as I say. So, oh, the Jag's still here. The dogs meander through here when they want. But if you can see, there's bamboo growing up. Hi, good girl. There's these loops which create a surrounding around the dog as they would go through it. They're called, forget some hoop name they call them. That's just the company that makes them, but they're actually concreted into the ground, so they're extremely sturdy, and they are metal. They're really cool for the dogs to go through. Anything that can challenge any of the dogs is a great way of building confidence, and confidence is one of my main goals to build in the dogs, because the more confidence I can instill in my dogs, the more adventures I can take them on, such as you just saw Zorro on the motorcycle, and we rode through Baltimore City, which could be a little trying for a lot of dogs, and he was perfectly comfortable. We were on the highway. Of course, he was securely in the motorcycle, but it's a challenge for a dog. It's not a natural position, and because of his confidence level and his trust in me, he felt right at home. So that's some of the idea behind all the equipment you see here, and there's shelter for them houses. I always find, as I was talking earlier, this little pedestals for the small dogs. That's what this is for. Gigi and Lulu, who's since crossed Rainbow Bridge, because they like to elevate themselves. The big dogs do too, so that's not much elevation there. But the picnic table is. A picnic table is a great I guess, stage, if you will, for any dog, any big dog that would like to, that likes what he would like to elevate, or she would like to elevate themselves. Almost all dogs do. So that's why I put the picnic table back here. Plus I can sit there, my wife, and we can eat a sandwich. Again, we're in WooFPark. So I make, I'll use a picnic table in any dog area that I want the dogs to feel comfortable in. So that's where we're at, and WooFPark's digging over there. Well, they're digging to be cool. That's another reason dogs dig. So some out of boredom, sometimes chasing prey or the scent of prey, and sometimes to get cooler, they'll move the dirt and lay in some fresh dirt. You can see Zara through the bamboo. That's where we're at right now, folks. I'm the WooFDriver signing off, and I'll have another live event for you soon. Have a great day. Thank you.